Let's get right into it. Number 7. Disaster movie mind. Do you ever make a small mistake at work and suddenly your brain projects a film where you're fired, become homeless, and have to fight raccoons for pizza crusts? Or your friend doesn't text back for an hour and your mind thinks, they hate me now. Or perhaps they're in peril somewhere? This isn't merely worrying, this is catastrophic thinking. It's like having a personal film director inside your head who only specializes in disaster movies. And you're invariably the main character. Your brain takes something minor and inflates it like a child's party balloon. Except instead of fun shapes, you get nightmares. Your boss sounds slightly irritated on a call. A typical brain thinks maybe they're having a bad day. A catastrophic brain thinks I'm about to be dismissed, lose my house, and my cat will forever look down on me. This can feel like you're being responsible, as if you're just preparing. But there's a distinction between planning and assuming the apocalypse is nigh just because you forgot to reply to an email. Individuals with this thought pattern don't just imagine messing up a presentation. They envision themselves freezing on stage, everyone laughing, getting fired, becoming unemployable, and eventually becoming that person who shouts at pigeons in the park, all from a single PowerPoint. The anxiety this generates is intense because, in your mind, this disaster film feels 100% real, as if it's already unfolding. Studies indicate most of the catastrophes we imagine never materialize. And when bad things do happen, we often handle them far better than we anticipated. But try conveying that to a brain convinced a typo in a text message signifies the end of all your relationships. Number 6. Rejection panic button. Have you ever felt a minor criticism strike you like a physical blow, or someone slightly ignoring you feel like the world's end? If that resonates, your brain might have a faulty panic button. It's termed rejection sensitivity dysphoria, RSD. Dysphoria is just a sophisticated word for a truly awful feeling. So, RSD means experiencing extreme, overwhelming pain from perceived rejection or criticism. It's not just having your feelings hurt. It's as if an emotional bomb detonates inside you. Someone with RSD might become an absolute people pleaser. They are terrified at the thought of anyone deeming them imperfect. They might become obsessed with perfection because any mistake feels like a devastating failure. Or they might suddenly erupt in anger or burst into tears over something that appears very minor to others. They might avoid going out or trying new things because the possibility of feeling rejected is too dreadful to risk. The strangest part is the rejection doesn't even need to be real. A delayed text message can feel like a personal assault. A friend looking distracted can make them feel as if you detest them. It's like their brain hits the panic button for no valid reason. This isn't them being overly dramatic or weak. It's how their brain is wired. It's exceedingly common in individuals with ADHD. Experts believe almost everyone with ADHD feels this way at times. Their brains simply perceive the sting of rejection much more intensely. Imagine quitting a good job because one piece of feedback felt like a betrayal. Or constantly worrying your partner is going to leave you. That fear makes it difficult to actually be close to someone. So, that intense reaction you witness, it might just be their brain's defective alarm system unleashing a storm of genuine pain. Number 5. Compulsive body habits. You know that friend who's always biting their nails during movies? Or perhaps you've caught yourself picking at that scab for the 10th time today. These aren't just bad habits. They could be your brain's way of screaming for help. Body-focused repetitive behaviors affect millions of people, but most are unaware it's an actual condition. Let's start with nail biting. Certainly many people do it, but for some it goes far beyond a nervous habit. They bite until their fingers bleed, until the nail bed is destroyed, and they can't stop, even when they desperately want to. Then there's skin picking, or dermatillomania. This isn't popping the occasional pimple. It's hours spent in front of a mirror, digging at perfectly healthy skin, creating wounds that turn into scars. Some people have to wear long sleeves year-round to hide the damage. Hair pulling, or trichotillomania, is another one. People pull out their own hair strand by strand, from their scalp, eyebrows, even eyelashes, until there are bald patches they have to cover with makeup or hats. Most people performing these behaviors aren't fully conscious they're doing it. It's as if their hands have a mind of their own. The brain sends out an intense signal, fix something, now, and the hands obey, even when the person doesn't want them to. During the act, there's often a strange sense of satisfaction, like scratching an itch you can't reach. But afterwards, shame, guilt, physical pain, and the cycle begins all over again. These behaviors often worsen during stress or anxiety. It's the brain's twisted way of trying to cope, as if it's saying, I feel uncomfortable, so let's create physical discomfort I can control. BFRBs are often linked to anxiety disorders, OCD, or past trauma. The brain gets stuck in a loop it can't break free from. Your brain is just trying to cope in the only way it knows how. The good news is there's help available. But first, you have to recognize it's more than just a bad habit. It's a sign that something deeper needs attention. Number 4. Trapped by rituals. Some people must touch the doorknob exactly 3 times before leaving. Or perhaps they arrange their desk items in perfect symmetry every single morning. We all have little quirks, but for some people, these aren't just preferences. They are urgent, screaming demands from their brain that feel impossible to ignore. This is the hidden world of OCD control rituals. This isn't about being neat or organized. It's about feeling like something catastrophic will occur if you don't perform specific actions. The ritual becomes the brain's desperate attempt to shut down that terror. It's like having an invisible electric fence around you. Cross it or break the rules, and your internal alarm system goes haywire. These rituals can look bizarre from the outside. Someone might wash their hands until they're raw and bleeding, not because they're actually dirty, but to wash away a bad thought. Others check locks dozens of times, convinced one missed check means disaster. Some people spend hours rereading a single page. They're terrified they missed a crucial detail that could have awful consequences. One person might need every item on their nightstand perfectly aligned before they can sleep. Otherwise, a wave of unbearable dread washes over them. These behaviors might seem strange, but for the person doing them, they feel absolutely necessary. The truly maddening part is the relief these rituals provide almost never lasts. The anxiety comes roaring back, often demanding the ritual be performed again, maybe even more elaborately next time. It's a cruel cycle that can consume hours of someone's day. The brain believes if I do this, the bad thing won't happen. But it's a trick. The ritual itself becomes the problem. This isn't a choice. It's not just being particular. It's the brain's alarm system misfiring, desperately trying to regain control in a world that suddenly feels terrifyingly unsafe. Number 3. When joy disappears. Ever bitten into your absolute favorite food and it tasted like cardboard? Or your best friend tells you they got engaged and instead of excitement, you feel nothing. You might think you're just tired, or perhaps you've matured. This emotional flatlining has a name: anhedonia. It's when activities that used to make you happy just don't anymore. Picture this. Your brain has a joy circuit. When something good happens, this circuit lights up with chemicals like dopamine. You feel that warm, fuzzy sensation. But with anhedonia, that circuit is broken. You go to a party where everyone's laughing. You know you should be having fun, but you feel like you're watching through a window. There are 2 types. Social anhedonia is when hanging out with people feels empty. Your friends invite you out, and it feels like a chore. Physical anhedonia is when physical sensations lose their spark. Anhedonia isn't its own illness. It's a core symptom of several mental health conditions, especially major depressive disorder. It can also show up in anxiety disorders and after long periods of stress. So if life's pleasures have packed their bags and left, it's not you being difficult. It's a sign that something deeper might be going on. Number 2. The Reassurance Trap. Imagine the need for an "are you sure?" echoing in your head. Over and over, never fully satisfied by the answer. This is excessive reassurance seeking. It's like having an anxiety alarm that only a constant stream of "yes, you're okay" can temporarily silence. You send a text message, no immediate reply. Instead of assuming they're busy, your brain screams, "they're mad at me. I said something wrong." So you ask your friend if they are mad at you. They say no, for a fleeting moment relief. But then the doubt creeps back. You think, what if they're just saying that? Maybe I should ask again, just to be really sure. This isn't about getting new information. Often, the person asking already knows the answer, or has been told it multiple times. It's about trying to get rid of a deeply uncomfortable feeling of anxiety or uncertainty. The problem is, it's a trap. The more you seek reassurance, the more your brain relies on it to feel calm. They might repeatedly confess minor wrongdoings from years ago, hoping to be told it's okay. Or they might spend hours Googling symptoms, seeking reassurance that a common headache isn't a brain tumor. Each reassurance provides a tiny hit of relief, which then reinforces the seeking behavior, making the urge to ask again even stronger next time that anxiety spikes. It's a vicious cycle. They're trying to prolong the questioning until a satisfying threshold of reassurance is hit. But that threshold is like a mirage. It keeps moving. This isn't attention-seeking. It's a compulsive behavior, often seen in anxiety disorders and obsessive-compulsive disorder. The brain is desperately trying to get certainty in an uncertain world. But the quest for 100% certainty is endless, and it can be incredibly draining for the people around them. Imagine being asked the same question dozens of times a day.
Number 1.
The reassurance
Frozen
seeker
by
isn't trying to be
choices.
annoying.
Ever
They're
spent
often in
45
genuine
minutes scrolling
distress,
through
caught
Netflix
in a
without
loop
watching
where the
anything?
only temporary
Or stood in the
relief comes from
cereal
an
aisle
answer
so
that never
long that
truly
security
sticks?
started giving you weird looks? This isn't just being indecisive. This is decision paralysis. And it's your brain's way of screaming that something deeper is going on. Picture this. You're at a restaurant. The waiter asks what you want. A simple question. But your brain turns into a supercomputer running every possible disaster scenario. What if the pasta is cold? What if the chicken gives you food poisoning? What if you pick wrong and everyone judges you? Ordering lunch just became a life-or-death situation in your head. People with decision paralysis aren't just picky. Their brains are stuck in a loop, desperately trying to avoid the wrong choice. They're waiting for that perfect feeling of certainty that never comes. So they freeze, sometimes for hours, sometimes for days. Sometimes they just let other people decide everything for them. This isn't limited to small stuff like what socks to wear. It bleeds into everything. Career moves get postponed indefinitely. Relationships stay in limbo. People stay in apartments they hate because looking for a new place means making choices. The brain's fear response gets so messed up that picking a sandwich becomes as stressful as defusing a bomb. Nearly 20% of adults deal with anxiety disorders that can cause this. That's 1 in 5 people whose brains turn everyday choices into mental torture chambers. The what-if game never stops. Your mind becomes your own worst enemy, trapping you in endless loops of possibilities. So if you find yourself paralyzed by choices that other people make without thinking, it might not be a personality quirk. It might be your brain sounding a clear alarm. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.